Alright guys, so I know there's a cricket going crazy on the back, so just bear with me. I'm gonna try and do this as fast as possible. Probably not gonna try and take more than 5 minutes. I'm hoping for that, so let's go ahead and try this. So today we're gonna be doing matrices. So one of the things that we're gonna be working on is gonna be identify the different elements that you have into it. So what's an element whenever we talk about matrix? Let me just erase this stuff. We don't need the numbers. I'm gonna be needing that area. So first let me erase all this right here. Then we're gonna delete all this as well. Now let's go back to what we were talking about. So what's an element? So an element is gonna be every single number or letter that you have inside of a matrix. So in this case, all these different numbers are here inside of the matrix. Every single one is an element. And today we're gonna be able to identify specific elements inside of the matrix. So if they ask you for an element for a matrix, we're going to be able to understand where that is inside my matrix. So let's go ahead and erase all this. There we go. Very nice. But before we go ahead and do that, we're going to have to actually label our matrix. So we're going to have to label our rows and we're going to have to label our columns. So whenever you're labeling your rows, you're actually going to start from the very top and you're gonna work your way to the bottom. So the first row right here is gonna be row 1, row 2, row 3, and row 4. So right now we have 4 rows. And now we have to figure out how many columns we have. So I have 1. And for columns, we're actually gonna go ahead and we're gonna start from the left and we're gonna go to the right. So this one's going to be 1, this one's going to be 2, this one's going to be 3, this is going to be 4, and this one's going to be 5. That's going to be my columns right there. So the first one's rows, the second one's column. Now that we know that, now they're usually going to ask you the name of the... So whenever they ask you for an element inside a matrix, they're going to give you the actual name of the matrix. So in this case, it's going to be A. As you can see right here, they're saying A34. But if you notice, we don't have a 34 in there. That's because that's not how you actually read whenever they ask you for an element of a matrix. The way that we read this right here is going to be A3 and 4 separately from one another. So it's going to be A3 and 4. But what does that mean? Well, the first number that comes up after the letter or the name of your matrix is actually going to be your R value, the number of rows. Your second number is going to be your number of columns. So in other words, it's saying what is the location in row 3, column 4. So I'm going to go ahead, grab my shader over here, and I'm going to start with my rows. It says I'm going to be on row 3. And then column 4. So I'm gonna go ahead and look for column 4, and the line or the element or the number that's getting highlighted twice is actually gonna be my answer. For in this case, my answer for the first one, A34 is equal to 7. Now let's do the other two. We're gonna do this one together. The last one you're gonna actually go ahead and do it by yourself. But in this case, we're going to do this ones together. So the second one's going to read A45. I'm going to go ahead and delete it. Going to go ahead and pick my shader for my rows. So I need to go to row 4. So it's going to be the final row. Now it's asking me to go to column 5. So it's also going to be the final column. Now, the spot where both the lines are meeting, that's going to be my answer for this item. Or that's going to be the location for the element that they're asking for. So A45 is equal to 2. Now the final one is just going to be 2, 1. So I'm going to go ahead, do my shading once again. I'm going to start in row number 2. And my column is going to start in column 1. Now, the element that's getting highlighted twice is going to be my 5. So that's my answer. And that's it. That's all you have to do for this type of problems. Now let's go down to the bottom. Now I want you guys to go ahead and find the following 4 elements. So the first element is going to be 1, 5. Second element is going to be 2, 4. Now the next one is going to be 4, 1. And finally 3, 3. Those are the 4 elements I want you guys to go ahead and find. Do it on the student section. So this part I want you guys to try it by yourself, and then I'm going to show you the answer for each. While you do that, I'm going to start erasing this stuff. So pause the video right here so you can do yourself, and then later check your answers once I actually write them down. So erase that, erase that. I want to leave this pane open mainly because I want to write my rows and columns. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then over here I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, I have everything labeled. So to go this a little faster, I'm going to go ahead and just do it with this. So I know I'm going to go row 1, column 5. So my element that's getting selected is going to be 1. So the answer for the first one is going to be 1. Now my answer for the second one, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start on row 2, column 4. The element that I can see that's getting highlighted twice is going to go ahead and be my 7. So that's going to be my answer for that one. Next one, again, I'm going to start row number 4, which is the last final row. Okay, that's the wrong color. And my column is going to be column 1, which I can see my answer is going to be 2. Now the final one, I'm going to do 3 and 3. So right here, my row is 3 and my column is 3. So the one that I see that's getting selected, surprisingly enough, it's going to be 3. And that's your answer for all of them. Okay, that's the video. I didn't finish it in 5 minutes, but 8 minutes is not too bad. So just make sure you watch the other 2 and do the next for that one.